It's taken decades, but women are finally being recognized for the many important roles they played in World War II. Unfortunately, most have already passed away, which is why Fantasy of Flight in Florida is working to ensure that their contributions are never forgotten. When the war broke out, no American was unaffected, even teenage girls like Angela Paversky.
And I was working in a dress shop. I was learning to be a dress designer. My goal was to go to New York and have a line of clothes of my own.
But that dream, like so many others, was forgotten as Hitler marched through Europe. American industry quickly transformed itself into a war machine. Assembly lines in Detroit and small factories in tiny towns were all retooled to fit into the National War Production Plan.
Peacetime construction was halted. Overnight, tons of machinery and hundreds of plants were hauled away for the duration by workmen converting to war.
With men fighting overseas, millions of women, many of whom had previously been denied employment on the basis of their gender, left home to work in factories producing war supplies.
I was about 17 then.
17 years old, the thought of working in a factory never occurred to you. How did that come about?
Never. It was just luck, I guess. I had seen an ad in the paper. Some friends and I were talking about it, and we all decided to apply, and we were all hired.
Workers for Victory. It's the assembly line that interests Uncle Sam's daughters now. And note the nifty new costumes, too, blue jeans. The National Youth Administration schooling girls in skilled mechanical trades, and you earn while you learn.
My mother didn't think it was that great. She thought ladies did not belong in factories.
Airplanes can sink battleships, and women can build airplanes. Go to it, girls. The Army of Industry needs you.
I was making nacelles for the engines in the B-24, and I was a riveter. I was Rosie the Riviter, the original.
Women like Angela working in defense plants were the home front equivalent of G.I. Joe and were given the nickname Rosie the Riviter in a song released in 1943.
All the day long, whether rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory, Rosie the Riveter.
Well, I thought it was pretty cool. You know, somebody made up a song about people that, nobody ever even thought of at the time.
2 months later, Norman Rockwell gave a face to Rosie on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post. At about the same time, artist Howard J. Miller created the now famous We Can Do It poster for Westinghouse factories, a poster that later became an iconic symbol of the feminist movement.
The War Production Board expects 1 million women in industry this year, and at the same pay as men.
Rosie had cracked open the door to the workforce and inspired a social movement that continued to grow for decades. There was no going back.
I do feel that was a big social movement because, women stayed home. They didn't go out.
Not until Rosie the Riveter answered the call of duty and proved that women were as good as, if not better than men in many jobs previously unavailable to them.
Everyone stops to admire the scene. Rosie at work on the B-19. She's never twittery, nervous or jittery. Rosie the Riveter.